What's up, Twitch stream? Happy Friday, and it is a happy Friday, isn't it? Sort of feel like a pall has been lifted. A little gnat flying around in here. I don't know where that came from. Hi, guys. Boy. Feeling pretty damn good today. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling fan-freaking-tastic. It has been a very interesting day for American politics, that's for sure. You know, I don't know if people don't want me to come on here and gloat. And here's the thing, I'm not going to because I'm superstitious. Hasn't been called yet, so I don't want to comment on it until it's official. And even then, who knows if this orange fucking shaded piece of shit is going to leave. Heartslot, it certainly is an exciting day in American politics, that's for sure. You know, I hope he hope he leaves peacefully. But if his speech last night was any indication, doesn't seem like he's gonna go without a significant fight. So, you know, taking one victory and moving on to the next. I gotta tell you, though, the memeing, it has been perfect. Oh, yeah. No, you are exactly correct. I see. Okay, so you were drawing the analogy to the actual story and not making fun of the actual color that he paints himself. Very good. What up, Ninja Fox? All right, guys. So, here's the deal. Lots of things are going on today, right? I apologize for not streaming yesterday. I genuinely feel bad about that, but I have a friend who is in the hospital currently. I'm not going to share anything about why she's in the hospital. It's not COVID related. She already had COVID, but she wanted to FaceTime for a little bit yesterday, and so that's what I was doing yesterday. So, Raggins, please tell me you won't rant about U.S. politics for 30 minutes. I'm Canadian and I'm tired of people. I'm gonna try. I'll try not to. I will try not to, but it's on the top of everyone's mind. So, Ninja Fox, glad to see you live. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. She's doing better today. They are on a couple of medications that she didn't need. So that part of the equation is very confusing. But she's feeling much better today now that she's not taking meds that she doesn't need to. So, but I appreciate you guys, being kind of cool about it. The thing is, all of you are like, forget it. But like, you got to understand, there are some streamers whose life is not like that. So, I do want to say how appreciated that is. Thank you, Heartslot. I will pass along the message. But yeah, she seemed in pretty good spirits when I talked to her yesterday. So that's good, Oh no, I missed out on 70 new followers who might give me money too. Wah. It's funny because, it's not like I got that message and didn't go, well, let me see who this guy is. I did. And the minute I looked at it, I went, fuck. This fucking nobody? What's he gonna do? He's gonna host me with his 5 people watching? I've been to his channel a couple of times when it's live. Like, there's no more than like 4 or 5 people. So like, I don't understand what he thought he was doing. Like, he was like trying to like big man on campus me or something. Like, I don't know, man. That was so sketch. That was so sketch. He was like, oh yeah, whatever happened to your channel, man? It used to be live like all the time. Well, fuck. What up, Master Capelli? How you doing? He had something like 370. Like, it was like 372 or something like that. Bored at work. Man, I feel you. Since now I work from home, I rarely get bored anymore. Like, it's weird. I'm so much more productive, and I work so much faster now that I work from home. Because, like, it's not, I don't know, it's just not the same. Like, I just want to get it done so I can go lay back down and maybe take a nap. Like, that's not a possibility when you're at the office, right? You finish a little bit early, get to go close your eyes for like 15 minutes and have nobody bother you. You don't get to do that when you work in an office or, in my case, in a radio station. But fuck, I found that like, stuff that used to take me 4 or 5 hours takes me 3. Because I'm just like, fuck it, get it all done. And it's like the only thing that's a bottleneck at all is waiting on somebody else to get me something, right? Like, if somebody else has to record voiceover and I can't just do it, and it has to send it to me. That's one of the things that it's like, oh God, will they please just send it to me? God damn. What am I doing now? I'm actually doing what I was doing before I did Checkpoint. I'm actually helping out a local radio station doing some of their production. So, it's a local NPR affiliate, WDET in Detroit. So I produce their promos and their some of their spots, and do, like, I put in their automated shows, like their weekend shows and overnight re-airs and stuff like that. Oh, dude, I used to do that all the time. Like, so, back back in college, and so this would have been like the first year of Limit Break Radio, right? I think it was all of the participants in LBR. So it was me and Kahlo, Arjit, Juxta, Sale. We all lived in the same dorm, and we all worked at the front desk. And I had been there a year longer than everyone else, and I think I had started working there a year earlier. Anyway, I got a co-manager position, which means that I got a small increase from like $12 to $15 an hour. And I had manager hours where I was supposed to do manager shit, which I don't really remember what that entailed. I think it was like make sure that the safe was zeroed out and that kind of shit. Anyway, but like every week, I think we got like 20 manager hours or something. Basically, what I would do is I would clock in downstairs, go upstairs, and take a nap. And then when I woke up, I would come back down and I'd clock out. And I'd be like, if anyone needs me, call me. No one ever needed me because it was like we only kept $40 in change at the drawer. And the most of my job was going to get change from the safe. So it was like, it was a ridiculously, stupidly easy job. And awesome. And like, I got a bunch of extra hours doing nothing, ostensibly. Like, those hours, like, I literally today cannot think of a single thing that I did other than take a nap with those hours. Like, I can't think of any of the manager responsibilities. I'm sure I had them, but they were so minute that, they're like not even worth mentioning. So, all right, let's go ahead and turn things over to the game. Boom, there we are. You guys like how my COVID mullet has graduated now to a COVID ponytail? All right. So today I'm going to work on 5.1 stuff. I have no idea what that entails. If there's time, or if I feel like it, I might also unlock whatever the new alliance raid is. I forget. I think it's themed after that one. Oh fuck! What is that game? It's in the Drakengard series. I just can't think of the fucking name. Nier. Thank you. That's it. All right, what do you got for me, Tataru? Aniero, gods, it's good to see you. I hope being here means that you've had your fill of rest. Yeah, not really. You're too selfless. That's your problem. But you're no good to anyone if you don't take a break once in a while. Anyway, not much happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's all right. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at Gimlet Dark, and that the Empire's shown no signs of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First. Great. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flamine to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet on the terrace at the House of Splendors. Dark Flux, you're trying out 11? Can I ask why? I mean, you know, once I wrap up 14, I will also be playing 11. But that has a lot more to do with Avixrim's generosity than it does my own desire to play 11. Although I will say that it's not like I'm not looking forward to it. Oh, I forget how this works. Is it upstairs? I guess it is. Aniero, it has been too long. Tatara did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot well express how I have longed to know more of the first. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tatara should be arriving shortly. Right on. That's actually why I ended up getting Pokemon Shield. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next Oracle, this girl Thancred named Reen. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed incapable hands. Good Lord. Aniero, might I ask a favor when you next return to the first? To tell Reen what I cannot. Tell her thank you. Stoic nod. And I would offer thanks to you as well for staying with her until the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Who's this bozo? Real, I hope you're here to tell me that you've received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, I've had not a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can get a signal to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through Gimlet now. The fighting's died down. Gods know that there's enough shadows to hide in. Well, maybe don't wear yellow and purple if you're hiding in the shadows, buddy. And it beats waiting around here twiddling me thumbs. Any road, I thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... Heck, I nearly forgot. Kryle's at the stones and she wants a word. Something to do with patience. She's getting ready to examine him again when I left. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. Is that a phenomenon in 11 streaming? 'Cause if I know, I can start like getting defensive about it now, and so it can be a real fun event. It seems she's still examining them. I do hope it's nothing bad.
You're here. Good.
Oh, cool.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
Well, that's ominous.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be.
Well, that's non-committal.
I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Passive-aggressive answer.
I realize you've only just returned from saving 2 worlds, but time is not on our side.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here, and, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
All right, there we go. Real quick, I want to show you guys something. So, today, I had an exterminator come in because the building has had a little bit of a bug problem. And while they were here, so that Fritz didn't get into anything, I had to put him in his cage, which is still set out right behind me. In fact, you can see his little tail peeking out from in there. The funny thing about that is that I only put him in there for maybe like a half an hour earlier today, and all he did was whine and cry and complain about the fact that he was in the cage. But now, look where he's hanging out. Little bastard. All right, guys. I will be right back in just a moment. I am actually going to go refill my tea. Don't go anywhere. We're going to see if we can restore the souls of the Scions when we come back. Hey, don't chew on my headphones. I walk away for 2 seconds, and he marches right out of that cage and starts nomming on my headphone cables. Not cool, Fritz. Not cool. All right, where was I? To Norvrent. Aniero, you are returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. Their corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be so sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy that we have the likes of Miss Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryl's findings.
And he's right back into his cage.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least.
What is Eden?
How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration.
No. I have not. I don't even know where it starts.
That I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed.
Why would I unlock that?
Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away. Not after the lengths you and yours went to save it.
Just say raid.
And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
Yeah, but you murky the waters when you're talking to someone like me.
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion?
Dapper Dan, man, what's happening?
Dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success.
By the way, great "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" reference right there.
I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
I'm a Dapper Dan,
Are
man.
you suggesting that simply by
Fucking love
considering
that
us his
movie.
possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White Auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back onto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
All right. The Grand Cosmos, that is the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, really, Urianger, fuck's sake. I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of White Auracite. By thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the Numu consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. I'm assuming I'm working towards a dungeon right here. Very good. Yeah, if you wanna do it with me, sure. Send me a tell. Anyone who wants to do whatever this this dungeon is with me, hop on, send me intel. Anyone else interested? Nah, it's all good. Yeah, I didn't expect very many people to watch tonight. What with the drama unfolding in the U.S. election. So, is that that's a person. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. Quite frankly, that's what I'm going to go watch at 8 o'clock. Oh, yeah, but you know he's going to try some shit. You know? Like, there's still twists and turns left in this thing. As I told you before, I scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host familiars. And, oh, shit. I'm sorry, but we are not here to petition. Are we not here to petition for assistance? You cannot honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be more interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As would any true seeker of knowledge, and there is little that we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they choose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Weapons drawn it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I do not. I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when Aniero's around. What exactly are you implying? He averted a calamity, and the light, which seemed destined to consume him, has been extinguished. 'Tis only natural that we would be pleased to see him. Yes, well, you will all have plenty of time to celebrate his good health after we've finished here. What is this conversation? Of course, let us proceed to the palace. I get it. You all want my dick. All right, last call for anyone who wants to join us for the Grand Cosmos. Send me a tell. I'm going to go take a moment to, improve my mood even more. What up, Frice? How's it going, man? Hey, don't chew on that, please. No. Go back to your cage. You seem to like it in there. It seems to be pretty comfy, huh? Right on, man. Right on. So, I went to my dispensary earlier today because everyone seemed to be in a fairly celebratory mood. And I picked up some hash plant, which, by the smell of it, is going to be very enjoyable. Nice, dude. Nice. And a whole bunch more states decided to legalize marijuana. That's fucking... This election has been exciting. I've eaten steak twice this week. My taste buds were happy, but my stomach was angry this morning when I woke up. I had a really nice New York strip last night for dinner, and it was excellent. And I was a little bit worried because it was cut where one side of it was a little bit thicker, so like maybe one side ended up like medium rare, and the other side ended up medium well. Because I'm cooking on an electric fucking cooktop. It's not going to be great. And so I grilled it up last night, and I'm looking at it as I'm eating it, and I'm like, man, that's pretty fucking pink. And I just said fuck it and just ate it anyway. So I wasn't about to cook it again. And it ended up being okay. I'm not shitting blood today, so it's good. Just give it a couple of more election cycles, Frice. I'm sure that is on the table. I mean, we're almost at a point where more states have legalized it than haven't. So it's on the road to federal legalization. See, T-Money, that's not enough. I want to fucking get high at work. I want my job to be getting high. I want to be a weed connoisseur and reviewer. To me, Doug Benson has maybe the greatest job on earth. It's entirely his responsibility to smoke weed and consume weed products and come up with funnies. I can't. I mean, and he's good at it, and he's consistently fucking good at it. Good enough to make a fucking living. Bravo. Bravo. Yeah, but Canada's not letting anyone from the United States in. We're a gigantic COVID petri dish. They'd stop me at the border and go, "What the fuck?" I mean, last time I had a job interview, because I wasn't taking it very seriously, I was asked, like, what's your dream job? And I, without hesitation, I said, cannabis reviewer. They were like, that's unique. And I said, well, it's honest. Dude, right? Like, most of the people I knew in high school that were fucking burnouts are making fucking six-figure salaries now and driving fucking Beamers because they invested in fucking weed businesses and dispensaries. And now that it's, it was medically legal, and now that it's officially legal, they're fucking cleaning up. God damn. All right. Here we go. Much better. That hash plant is very nice. Very, very nice. All right. There we go. All right. T-Money, it seems like it's just you and me, so I'm just going to go ahead and cue us then. Jesus, that is stupid. There we go. I mean, I don't know what risk you're talking about. Most everyone I know that's ex-military smoked when they were in the service, like when they were deployed, and smoke now. I mean, fuck, my brother-in-law is definitely one of those. Yeah, actually, if you've ever smoked any of the alien strains, like Alien Fire, Alien Kush, I'm trying to think of some of the other alien varieties that I've had. That, if I understand the story of that strain correctly, the alien strain were seeds that were, it was just like an unidentified, like, hash making plant in Afghanistan that some Marines had taken seeds back with them when they came home, and that's where you started getting the alien crosses from. I don't know. That's what some dude who was selling it to me fucking told me. So, for all I know, that could be bullshit. That's the similar phenomenon is starting to happen in the U.S. as well, where it's like now you've got like cannabis shops that are like wine clubs, and it's fucking pretentious as shit, but who cares? It's fucking weed. A neat zone. Fuck. Man, you guys are awfully quiet tonight. Holy crap. Did I say something to upset you guys? Well, T-Money, I'm not yelling at you. Is that right? Oh, cool. I wasn't spinning bullshit. That's good to know. That would be awesome. I'm not sure as many people would stick around for that, though. As much as I would love that. Well, I think it's just more the idea, like, that's not what people came to the show for, you know? Like, it's sort of like that time that I had heard an FF11 podcast, and this was years ago, even before Limit Break Radio had started. They like didn't have anything to talk about that week, and instead they just like sat around and talked about politics and Bush, and they did it in a way that made them it was really cringy and made them sound really stupid. But I may have agreed with the spirit of the, what they were talking about. But it just sort of like made me go, yeah, maybe it's best to, just not, just keep the two things separate, like you got to know why your audience is there. No, just, know why people are there. Because it was sort of like, listen, even if you agree with this shit, like it's pretty fucking clear that you're dividing your audience. Even even if I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. But, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, damn it. This reminds me of, like, a Dark Souls boss for some reason. God damn it. Savo Cavo, thank you for the 45-month resub. Yeah, that may be the least saltiest podcast I've ever done. Like, oh man, I don't know what to be mad at. It's just all weed, man. Sucks we don't see Daniel Miller live this year, the voice behind the song. Right on. Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of that, shouldn't today have technically been the kickoff of
That was my fiercest familiar.
FanFest? It's a little sad.
Look, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence!
No, I hate this voice.
It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
I see what they're doing here.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety. Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought. Of all the visitors I could possibly have, they're even more stubborn than I am.
No. No.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Becklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't resort to using such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the new Mu with us. Had he not, Becklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guests waiting would only add insult to injury. We mustn't dally here any longer, Aniero. If Becklug is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Dun, 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 dun. All right, just about a half an hour left before I end up passing you guys along to... I'm not sure who I'm going to pass you along to, but I'd like to hand you off to somebody who's streaming live and raising money for Extra Life. Open to suggestions, by the way. Also, thank you to Phantom RM for that follow about an hour ago. And, oh, hey, Susan Calloway followed yesterday. That's very nice of her.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you, your body is your own, and your soul is the densest of them all.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Ah.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
Wait, he got shit for what line?
You will
I'm
help us,
confused.
then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Wait, really? I don't like. I'm just not sure what he got shit for by saying ethereally dense. Not sure why that's worthy of having shit heaped upon you. You have spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to? Oh shit! God damn it! Fat shaming? Wait, what? Did he call someone who was fat ethereally dense? I'm just so confused. I will not. I probably will not. Oh, that's pretty fucking funny. White Orosite, you say? An intriguing proposition. One which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. Such an energetic, unstable state, there's no telling what may happen to their souls within the Orosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Yeah, I'm pretty ethereally dense these days, too. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out or relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw aether from your surroundings. This process must be halted and the resulting suffit of aether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which would be rectified upon your return home. Yeah. Leaving lifeless husks like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their aether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why, do you think you might be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. I would be glad to take you to them on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. While I see there's no need for us to accompany you while you escort our guest to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite Orosite. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beck Luck as necessary? Oh god, I clicked it and it opened Explorer. I can't use that computer. Okay, yeah, that's pretty stupid. Let us make for Amarang then. Kooky resubscribing for 36 months. Thank you. That's excellent. I love it. Why can't you guys have normal elections like the rest of the world? Screaming incoherently in the backseat. Kooky, are you going to be live tonight for Extra Life streaming? Or is that this weekend? So this is Halaric, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light, towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light, he will become a sin-eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the wardens and banished the light from the sky. Halaric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Mumble. Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily simulate the aether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobert. Then for darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes, I will break that oath. It's not like to reverse stagnation, mind you. Oh, shit. Forgot. I clicked. I didn't mean to click. Todd stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has no effect. Gotcha. What is this? Warmth I feel in my chest. Where's the third? I feel warm, and my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function in most of the patients, at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then, 'tis true with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of the light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Halaric, appear to be unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something that we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible that we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible in treating them. We might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Yo, what's going on, Gallant? How you doing? I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Vobert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. That tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. Sigh, but in the end, my knowledge only brought suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. Well, now you have a chance to redeem yourself, I guess. That I do, a comforting thought indeed. Gallant, I watched a few minutes of State of the Realm today. Can you please bring back the LBR podcast? If LBR came back, it wouldn't be as an FF14 podcast, I'm sad to say. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal aether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar, They are able to amplify energies poured into them, making them a perfect conduit for aether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on doing whatever needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured, spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well, your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters, the finest of clays, and as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay may be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean. The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the new Moo of Pla Eni. They will be able to help supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? I mean, that's mostly true. I guess, T-Money, it's a weird analogy. But you're right, it wouldn't be the same show. So, you know, people who are expecting us to pick up where we left off, you know, I think it would be a bit disappointing for them. There still remains the matter of the clay. May I prevail upon you to find it? Clay from Amarang is likely to be best. You know of anyone who might be able to assist us? Sure. Ah, yes, they will be able to point you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there's aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. I mean, I kind of think that Kahlo and Escalia might even be easier than Nika and Juxta, considering that they have, you know, they have families. That's, you know, a permanent responsibility, you know, and you know, you can't just, you know, there's no negotiating out of that one. I will be right back. I'm going to go refill my tea. I've only got about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to be plugging away at taking care of these cutscenes. If you guys know a channel or can think of a channel that you'd like for me to host and raid once I wrap up, I'd like to get someone who has started their Extra Life streaming. So if you guys want to suggest a channel, by all means, go for it. I'll be back here in about 60 seconds. Thank you guys for hanging on. Man, I don't know what's going on with my voice. It's like it starts to get bad every time I stream. And I don't think I'm talking that much. Like, I know I'm reading, but I didn't think that put that much strain on my voice. I don't know. Aniero, well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talus and trolley you lot took to Nabath Arang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us he offered us a share of the leftover building materials from the Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Yeah, they are. T-Money. Clever man, that Chai Nuz. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley, but Magus still refuses to see all the good that we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Yerrick, but that doesn't mean that you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Aniero here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it that you need, friend? I see, and this familiar requires clay from Amarang? Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that isn't exactly a commodity. Saying that it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays. Hang on. Excuse me. Saying that it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. Yeah, but I think you're ignoring you're ignoring a very real problem that I, Aniero, have no desire to host a Final Fantasy XIV podcast anymore. You know, like, I'm happy to stream this. I'm happy to stream the story. But, like, there are people who have expectations that, like, that I am back into 14 and that I am following its development, that I'm keeping up with the updates, that I care about the direction. I don't. I'm playing this because you guys want to see me play it, and because I was curious about it. There's no desire on my part to, because you got to understand that takes so much mental energy when you don't care about the game that you're reporting on. Because not only did I do it with Limit Break Radio, I did it a lot with Checkpoint, where I had to start caring about games that I gave absolutely no shit about. League of Legends, Apex. Fuck. There were so many. So, you know, like, I think that's the biggest issue. The biggest barrier to Limit Break Radio ever being Limit Break Radio, a Final Fantasy XIV podcast ever again. I'm totally open to doing Limit Break Radio, another type of podcast, maybe another Final Fantasy podcast, but I just have no desire to do a 14 show, ever. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Byron mines to make adobe bricks. Places swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. And I mean, if you guys want me to be perfectly honest, a lot of that comes from never wanting to do business or have a relationship with Square Enix ever again. Because that was one of the most vexing personal relationships or professional relationships that I've ever had in my entire career. And you know, they did nothing to want to try to fix that or you know, to change that. So, you know, I think that's a very, very big part of that equation. Moogle Go Around Radio, thank you so much for the raid. I hate to break it to you, but I am myself about to send you guys somewhere else. Much appreciated. I'm wrapping up right at 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna go back to watching election returns. How you doing, Chile? But like, I'm not and I'm not trying to like disappoint anyone. I'm just trying to be very, very, very clear about, you know, what my intentions with Limit Break Radio as a brand are. You know, there's definitely been conversations about, you know, what Limit Break Radio coming back would look like. None of those conversations, not one of them, has been a consideration of like, hey, let's make it a Final Fantasy XIV show. All of them have been conversations to take it in a very different direction. And I have no idea if that's disappointing. I'm sure it is to some people who, you know, like Gallant, just want, you know, a show that's better than State of the Realm. And that's fine. I understand that. And I'm definitely sympathetic. But I just, you know, I have to be real with you guys. I just don't, I don't really see that in the cards. You know, like, I get it that the majority of, you know, who I could claim as my audience wants to see Final Fantasy content, and specifically Final Fantasy 14 content. And that message was delivered loud and clear when maybe an eighth, a tenth, a 16th of you guys, the Limit Break Radio audience, transferred over to Checkpoint XP. So, you know, I listen, I get it. I get that you guys want me to do Final Fantasy content. That maybe in time I'm willing to do, but like, I definitely have no interest in doing an FF14 show. And haven't. I've been perfectly happy to walk away from this game when I did. The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced to see the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it. Okay. I get you, Gallant. But that is, it is a very real, desire that I've heard from people. I get it. I understand. Wonderful, but we need to combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form, then performing the necessary incantation. Backlog, I have a question. In the event that we have need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halaric and the others have suffered so much, I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I am. I dare say that there are few in all of Norvrent more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Aniero? Absolutely. I'll give it my all for Halaric, for Tesleen. But then we are all of one mind. Alice shall be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
I'm sorry, a what?
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
Not bad for creating life on your first attempt.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
All right.
Mother,
Sorry, I'm trying to find an Extra Life channel to host. Let's see. Am I wrong? Have people really have people not started until tomorrow? Or will people not start until tomorrow? Is that what I'm... It seems like it. Oh well. All right. I thought I saw a tweet that said it was kicking off today. I might be wrong. How is he backlogged? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence that the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theory to proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Becklug said that when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves of primals, save in a handful of cases, or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. I don't know who that is, but it's a name that was presented to me, so sure. Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halaric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused to with earth-aspected aether instead of the light. It follows that his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation. There may be a chance that we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much... oh, yeah, he's the fucking... Kobold? He's the Kobold, right? Yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work that we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness, even if it's all the same to you. I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Becklug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest, but I see that you're not to be convinced. The fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you! This guy. Kai Shear, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Gilmore. Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it you will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Excuse me. Go on, then. It's not as if as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Becklug. What up, cats? How's it going, man? Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore is at stake. And on that cliffhanger is where we will leave it for today. Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, it has been fun. You even got an additional 15 minutes out of me that I didn't plan on hanging out. But it's okay. That election coverage isn't going anywhere. Let's find someone for you to go to. Yeah, unfortunately, cats, today was a shorter stream. I didn't get a chance to stream yesterday because I was on a Zoom call with a friend of mine who's in the hospital. So I didn't really feel like telling her like, nah, sorry, I can't like Zoom with you because I got to stream. That felt like a shitty decision. Yes, guys, I want to invite you to come back tomorrow at 4 p.m. I will be live with not just me, it'll be Chizuk Bean of the One Fall Show and Nerd Radio. Will Cherry, who you may remember from Refresh, as well as Shawnee Constant, a.k.a. the $17 Man. Also, from the One Fall Show, we're going to be hanging out, calling matches of WWE 2K19. And I know that sounds like, why would I want to watch that? It's a wrestling video game. Well, because I have spent many, many, many hours modifying this game, and I would appreciate it if you would look at the fruits. Look at it! Look at the fruits of my labor! I forgot that my camera was off because I was smoking weed. Let's do this. There we are. All right. We can put away the game for today. Here we go. Let's get a little music behind us. Ooh. Whatever this is, that's nice. I'm still trying to... I know. Since I wore it because today should be the start of FanFest. Yes, I know. That's exactly why I wore it. Thinking of buying the observatory prior and ESO? Wow. That's quite a commitment. Even if I bought it, I don't know if I could, if I would be able to ever decorate it. Yeah, I know. It's, again, missing FanFest is a bummer. But you know what? We will be able to hang out again one day soon. And here's the thing, because even if there wasn't a pandemic and even if FanFest wasn't canceled, I didn't get tickets. I didn't bother. I had, at the time tickets went on sale, I had no interest in going to FanFest. So I wouldn't have been able to make it regardless. Okay. So that would have meant that there would have been no LBR after party. Okay. And now that, I may not be full-time playing FF14, and I may not be committing to doing a FF14 podcast, but, I might consider going to FanFest and might consider throwing a bomb-ass party. So, even though we didn't get FanFest this weekend, when we do get FanFest, it might just be that much better. So, if you want a little bit of consolation to heap onto that disappointment, there you go. That's all I can offer. Is that, now there is a glimmer of a hope that the next time there is a FanFest, that there will also be a Limit Break Radio after party. I'm not promising anything. The other thing that I will say, because I can't say much, is that I am developing something, a show of some sort, with someone that would probably interest, everyone who is familiar with the arc of my career. So, in terms of, what are the priorities? That's the priority at the moment. So, again, I can't talk about it. That's about as much as I can say about it. But just know that something is being developed with someone whose name you might recognize. I know that that's cryptic and vague as all hell. But, again, can't say much more than that. So, you know, what will that opportunity lead to? I don't know. You never know. Heh. You'll when there's something to announce, I will announce something. Anyway, all right, guys. I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate it very much. I appreciate the resubs, the raids. Again, Chili Pepper raiding me with Moogle Go Round Radio. Also, Kooky Persona resubbing, as well as Sevo Kevo. Very much appreciate it, guys. I know that I didn't stream as much this week. I'm going to try to make that up to you next week. I'm hoping, you know, I'll be on a much more normal schedule this week, so I'm hoping to get some stream time in on Monday, and then, of course, on Thursday. So I'm hoping that those two sessions will be a little bit longer than today's was. So, yeah, make sure you come back and hang out. And again, I will be live tomorrow. And I got sidetracked on this. I will be live tomorrow with Chuck Bean and Will Cherry and Shawnee Constant calling matches of WWE 2K19. And this thing is just modded all to hell. And it's a lot of fun, man. We have... I don't want to say we've put in a lot of work. I've put in a lot of work in terms of modding the thing. We just all kind of sit down and call the match. And the thing is our commentary is fucking awesome. So, and if you want a podcast to listen to my talents on, you can always check out the One Fall Show. It's a pro wrestling podcast that also disguises itself as a quiz show. So make sure you check that out, onefallshow.podbean.com. If anyone is hanging out right now that is not a part of the Limit Break Radio podcast, or I'm sorry, that isn't a part of the Limit Break Radio Discord, then hit !Discord and you'll get the link automatically populated into the chat room. Become a part of the Discord, hang out, and let's get some chat going on in there. It hasn't been terribly active, and I must confess that I don't check it very often, so it'd be nice to get some discussion going on in there. So hey, look at Lloyd. Yes, that's right. Hey, you know what, Chuck, you guys show up, and that's actually far more work than some of the people I've worked with in the past. So yeah, make sure you check that out. That's the One Fall Show Super Universe mode. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. we'll be live calling matches pretty much as close to 4 as we can get it, unless someone's late, in which case I'll let you know on social media. All right, that's got to be it for me, unless my voice wants to really decide to go out tonight. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I will catch you tomorrow at 4 p.m.